All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's
Hi.
working.
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome back to another episode of This is the Future.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, man. Fuck it.
Yeah,
This is
but
it.
I'm upbeat about it. I'm happy. You know,
Fucking A, man.
I'm also getting ready to do something I don't do.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
I'm going to drink a beer.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard great things, so I'm really excited about it.
This wasn't planned at all to drink a beer together, was it? I need to
You
turn
just
this
happen
around.
to be drinking.
Well, cheers, Tony.
Smells like my feet. All right, thanks, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good, yeah?
Oh.
Yeah, put some hair on your
There's a
dick.
picture of a chicken here with boobs and stuff. I thought maybe this tastes like her dirty stockings, and that's what's going on.
Gross.
I no offense to you beer lovers out there. This is how you know I'm not one.
That's the thing, man. It's like I can't drink that like IPA, double IPA shit, man. It's like people really like. I know you're drinking, and you're probably gonna drink all of it, but is that a face? Everybody, the 7 people that listen to this or watch this, is that a face of people that of someone that likes IPA? Look at that. Ugh. Yeah.
Oh.
You're drinking it.
I got my pee-pee wet. Ugh. Gross.
Yeah. Well, you got to take that thing for a swim sometimes, Tony.
My dick's drunk. Literally.
I like to drink beer that matches my outfit. You know.
Oh my God! Now I know where I can get a pound of cocaine right there. Is that what you're sitting on? Just stacked like kilos of coke instead of a stool?
That's what my computer's stacked on.
So the lower your computer is, the more money you have?
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. That's great. Fuck.
Well.
Oh man, I'm getting wet. It's doing its thing. It's doing.
It makes 2 of us.
Oh man, been a long week for this guy.
So while Tony sucks his beer off, we'll talk about the album that we were supposed to listen to. "Remain in the Light" by the Talking Heads. That's the name of the album, right?
Yeah, Remain in Light. Absolutely.
Remain in Light. And Remain in Light. Yeah, he's got it right there. I like, you know what? It was never planned that you were going to show the record of every band, but I like it that you added that. That's cool. I like it that you have those the records just hanging out, ready to pull out, and that's fucking great, man.
Well, since you like it so much,
you're a fucking genius,
dude.
Yeah.
All right. So, what did you think?
Well, I was going to start off and say I'm definitely familiar with the Talking Heads for sure. I've always listened to them, but they were not. When I say I've always listened to them, I've always been okay with listening to them. I never really put on the Talking Heads. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I never I want to listen to the Talking Heads and put them on. I like them and I appreciate them. And if someone asked me if I liked them, I'd say yeah. But this album, I really got into. I think I listened to it about between 7 to 8 times.
Yes.
Probably 2 or 3 times in a row. I just fucking liked it. And my favorite song was "The Great Curve," track 3.
Yes.
Is that the name of it?
Yes. He starts out by saying, "Sometimes the world has a load of questions." Yeah, it has that dancey beat. Yeah. Sometimes the world has a load of questions. Sometimes there's nothing, whatever. I love his rhythm. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just exactly what, Coke sounded like in the 80s. It's really good.
And no, that's definitely my favorite song on the album. And I was probably listened to that song probably 20 times. I just kept on listening to it because I like that. It was where they have bongos or something. It's very like this shirt and this green beer, and I'm just yeah, it's good.
No, it works, man. It's so I've realized I listen to a lot of music that I don't know anything about. I don't know what the hell they're singing about. and that's the Talking Heads. I don't know what he's talking about. I spent the last half hour reading the lyrics, and I'm like, huh? I mean, there's a poem on here.
Yeah.
Let's just dig this. It's in really small print, so none of you are ever going to read this, so I'll do it for you with my sniper vision. This is something that's written on one of the cross-eyed and painless. At the end, there's a poem. Like not in the end, like right before the end, is long ass poem. And this is what it says: facts are simple, facts are straight, facts are lazy, and facts are late. Facts all come with points of view. Facts don't do what I want them to. Facts just twist the truth around. Facts are living turned inside out. Facts are getting the best of them. Facts are nothing on the face of things. Facts don't stain the furniture. Facts go out and slam the door. Facts are written all over your face. Facts continue to change their shape. Holy shit. That's Dr. Seuss on LSD.
Yeah.
I mean,
green eggs and ham, Sam I am. Jesus.
I read that shit. My head started to tingle. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, man. Yeah, my
Or it could
balls
be this not good flavored beer. Oh man, my stomach. I'm gonna poop on this show.
Yeah, man, you are. That's okay.
You are. I love that. You are. Oh.
Well, here's the thing: is this is a bad thing to brag about or admit, like, but I drink beer like pretty much every day, and you hardly drink. You're more of a fucking dirty pothead. I'm more of a dirty drunk.
That's why we get along. It's fantastic.
Yeah, man. And so is there a beer that you do like?
It ain't this one. I mean, that's why you got to put a cute chick on the label so you'll drink this shit, I guess, because this is rough stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, men lie to each other when they make beer because this I don't. I mean, whatever. But
I that's what I think. I can't really think that people that really like that like IPA shit really enjoy it, because I've tried to. I lived in Bend, Oregon. I want to try to fucking hang out with all the puffy coat idiots, you know, and have a golden retriever and drink IPA and lie to myself and tell myself I'm liberal, but really all I care about is puffy coats, Patagonia, and my golden retriever and a bunch of money.
Holy shit!
I tried. But
we have no angst towards anyone.
No one. But that fucking IPA, that's not good. This is good. Heineken.
Well, I figured out what's wrong with this. I was trying to figure out what's wrong with the beer, and then I realized it's made in Dover, Delaware. Nothing's made in Dover, Delaware. Not even good beer. What the fuck?
Beer is, but not good beer.
Oh, man. You know what's in Dover, Delaware? An Air Force base. And unless you're in the Air Force, you can't go there. So, nothing except this.
Yeah.
I always wondered if people drank out of that water near there, and I guess they do.
Well,
it's free.
I know we're kind of done with Talking Heads, but I just wanted to say I really liked that album. So I hope the 6 or 7 other people that watch this podcast, I hope that you all listen to that album too with us, because I thought it was fucking great, and it was kind of it's like a weird eye opener for me, like that made me realize that
yes,
I actually really like the Talking Heads. Like I always liked them, and we're down with them their music being in the background. I was never unhappy with listening to the Talking Heads, but I was just like, yeah, I actually do like them, like a lot. So good job on suggesting them. Tony's dying over there, and
I'm sorry, I burped on the air. Whatever, I burped on my computer too. No, man, let me stop that for a second. I want to say this. That's the album that got me that actually got me into the Talking Heads, because they have shit. I think you've watched it with me, the documentary where they do the live show. Do you remember what it's called?
I don't. I just remember they build.
It's called Stop Making Sense. If you want to get into the Talking Heads, you have Spotify, Apple Music, whatever your thing is, you can get the soundtrack to Stop Making Sense. That's what it's called on Spotify. Listen to all that if you want to get into Talking Heads. That's a good way in. Watch the video. The movie is awesome. They
Mhm.
start out, it's produced by a major producer back in the late 80s, I believe. The way they set this show up is awesome. If you don't watch shows, this is a good one to start off with. And this one, Remain in the Light, if you look at all their albums, all of them have a few hits on them. So if you're like me and you don't know what the hell album to start with, I do buy records. When I go in there, they don't have the listening stations anymore. So you bring your phone, I bring my headphones, and I'll just put it on and listen to it. So I just
Right.
picked that one, kind of like, I hope this works. But what I found out was, but right before I bought it, was that it was produced by Brian Eno. So I knew that it would have a good flow to it and be trippy as shit. And that's what it was, because at the end of the record, on side 2, it really goes out there a little bit. It comes
Right.
back, but there's a lot of
But-
like shadowy conversations and just heavy
but-
shit that wouldn't be on a pop record.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's a good way to get into all of Talking Heads. Like, it's just got some hits in it, but the flow is amazing. You want to flip the other side over and keep going over and over again, to your point.
Yeah.
So yes, that's why I introduced that record for those of you who watch this. And if you want to listen to Talking Heads, check out Remain in Light. You'll know a
Yeah.
few, and I think you'll like the other ones.
Absolutely. I hope everyone does listen to that. That's a I like how we're talking about something and Tony's trying to drink his beers. Oh, it's Tony, you could just not drink it.
I can't. That's not allowed. You can't. You have to finish.
So
There's other crap. If that runs out, I got other crap in the refrigerator.
So why are you drinking that beer? Like, why?
Okay, good question.
Why do you have it? Why do you have
No,
it?
it's a good. I have it because my dad and I live around each other now, and we're adults, and we never had anything in common really when I was a kid. And I found out he likes to drink, and I'm his drinking buddy. So once a week, we go to one of those foo places around here where you grab a 6-pack and you put in 6 beers and pay $40 for it.
Jesus.
So, because it's cool because you can try out a bunch of shit like, hey, she looks nice. Let's see how disgusting this is. And then you find out. And then you realize you spent $8 on a shit beer from fucking Dover, Delaware.
She looks nice. Let's find out how disgusting this is. You just described what it's like to try to date someone.
That's pretty much how I picked them. Hey, Tony, how did you end up sleeping?
Oh, fuck, I'm fucked.
It's like, Tony, how did you end up being with someone who has 3 other children that aren't yours, and you have a person? She looked nice. She looked nice on the bottle. That's all I can tell you. I didn't read the ingredients. I just looked at the bottle.
And then it turns out you're fucked.
Actually, now I have one person that'll be at my funeral, probably. So that's cool.
I'll zoom in. I'll be there via Zoom.
What movie is that? Demolition Man, where they're all talking and the little screens turn as he talks. Is that what I'm going to see? Well, I'm not because I'll be dead, but there'll be a bunch of screens turning, like digital tears, like sad emojis. Just.
I'll tell everyone. I'll be like, "This is what Tony would have wanted. He wanted to see you on screens. He didn't want you to be here."
That's right. He wanted you to zoom in from wherever you were.
Yeah,
and
then you'll
drink
come
shitty
walking
beer.
out. You'll just come walking out because it'll just be a joke anyways.
Oh, that's a grand idea. Oh,
I think it's a good idea.
Mm.
How you been, man? How was your week? What'd you get into?
Oh man, so my kid's back in town, and she's a teenager, so she realized that she would actually like to keep some of her teeth. Mm-hmm. So I took her to the dentist after a couple of years, and I'm not a fan of medical anything.
Right.
I'm not the one who's going to go home and watch true crime. Well, I like the murders, but I don't like how people getting beat up and all that. I don't want to hear all that.
I love murder.
Murder's great. I dig murder. But what I don't dig is like looking at the autopsy after the fact. You know what I mean? But, well, he snapped it like a twig. No. I don't want to do that. So to that point, I'm in the dentist's office, and there's 2 women there, and then my daughter. My daughter's laying in the chair, and everyone's happy as a pig and shit. And I walk in and kind of kill the mood because that's usually what I do. And the woman's like, okay, so I want you to look at her teeth. And I'm like, I'm good. And she's like, no, see this one right here. And I'm like, I'm literally looking at the other person. I'm not making eye contact. I'm not looking in my kid's mouth. I've seen what she puts in there for the most part. I've seen that I know that she doesn't floss her shit. I know that she doesn't brush her fangs very often. I don't want to see what that's done to her mouth. Not a hobby. I have hobbies. That's not one of them. I don't even want to see what I did to my own mouth. I got a cap put on, and I had to take my original tooth and shave it down to a nub.
Oh, yeah. I've had
and
that
then
done.
He showed it to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you asshole. I actually look like a tweaker. Small town, nowhere to go, tweaker. I was like, you gonna take it? I think he took a Polaroid. He was like, smile. Like, now you'll pay your bill, or I'll put this on social media. But I didn't like it. And the doctor, she seemed really cute. She had a mask and a ponytail. That's about all I need. And she was just talking, and she was like, she noticed I wasn't looking, and she's like, well, here, you can see it on the tablet. I said, no offense. I said, but the medical insurance is pretty good, right? And she's like, yeah, you have good coverage. I said, then the only thing I really want to look at is that copay. And she's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, don't give a shit about what you're gonna do to her. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna drop her off next time and go DoorDash while she's getting drilled into, because someone's got to pay for this shit.
Right? Yeah.
So I probably didn't make any friends at the dentist office, but they know I'm honest, and that's what's important.
Did you remember the smile?
No. You don't smile around here unless you want to get robbed.
Yeah, I know. I figured, but I thought you were at the dentist's office. And you wanted to show off your pearly whites.
I mean, one of them's mine. The one that's really pearly ain't mine. I mean, someone made it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's new to you.
It was the darkest tooth in my mouth, and now it's the brightest. So I'll take it.
Man, it's a symbol for life. That's adorable.
How about you, man? How was your week? Any trips to the dentist?
No, man. I try to keep that limited.
I know you do. I know your flossing habits too, young man.
Yeah, man. I haven't been to the dentist in probably 8 years.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. They're around. Yeah.
You're going to get a visit from Mr. Whistle.
I know. Yeah.
No. Quick story. Sorry. Quick story, though. When Jessie was a kid in the dentist's office, she had a bunch of mouth rot. And so they were like, we got to take all these teeth out, but they're not her real teeth, so don't worry. So this is in Oregon, where they make everything nice and chill. And so the chick's like, okay. And my kid, she's like 8 or 9 at this point, and they're like, okay, now just hold still. Here comes Mr. Whistle. And and it's the drill. And I'm like, and right before they stick it in her mouth, I'm like, because I'm an idiot, I'm like, that's not a whistle, that's a drill. And you see my kid's fingers go right into the chair. She's like, I'm like, oh. So I tell her that every time. I'm like, you're gonna get a really expensive visit from Mr. Whistle if you don't brush your teeth. And so that's what I told them yesterday. I said, so how much does it cost for Mr. Whistle? And they're like, what? I was like, in Oregon, it's not a drill, it's a whistle. She's like, oh, it's like a $500 whistle. I'm like, holy shit.
Damn.
It better be a gold-plated whistle, damn it.
Mr. Whistle? That sounds creepy. That's like a...
No, dude, that came from Redmond, Oregon. That's where we were.
That's like a pedophile thing to say, I'm sorry. I know you're talking about your kid, but like, that's what like pedophile. Here comes Mr. Whistle. Like, that doesn't sound good.
Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Whistle.
They call him that because he doesn't know how to whistle.
He doesn't know how to whistle, but he can blow. Hey!
Hell of a blower.
Big blower, not much of a whistler. Anywho, back to your life.
I haven't been to the dentist in probably 8 years because I think my health insurance ran out when I was 26, and I haven't gotten it back, health insurance, so that's why.
Yeah, you gotta apply for that.
Yeah. So that's why I haven't been.
I don't want to get you in trouble with the IRS, but you have to have medical these days, don't you?
No, that was that was a couple of years ago. That ended last year.
So you made it.
Yeah. And you still can't. You still don't have to have insurance. You just pay like a fine at the end of the year, which is way cheaper than any fucking visit to the doctor. So really, it's not.
Well,
You know,
not after 8 years and not going to the dentist. It might not be.
yeah. Hey man, I brush. I try to brush twice a day, and I floss. So
All right. Okay, cool.
I do my best. I do my best.
All right.
Although I do fucking guzzle and snort sugar every day and drink beer. So, you know, probably not right, but I have them all still. Anyway, back to my week. My week was pretty good. I don't know if I've talked about this on this show or if I told you, but I've been trying to skateboard again since the quarantine, and I've been to the skate park twice, 2 different skate parks here in Portland. One in Tigard, Oregon, which is like 20 minutes away from Portland, and then one that's like 5 minutes from my house. And the first time I went, I was like, I got the fear. I was afraid because there was all these little shits skateboarding around that were like, you know, like these like 18, 19-year-old kids that are like doing all these fucking tricks, and they got their shirt off and they got like teenage abs, you know. Yep. And you don't have to try, you're just a teenager and you got fucking abs, you know, and you're wearing they're wearing fucking basketball shorts. Yeah, I bet. And then
I'm 18.
Yeah, well, I mean, it shows. You drink a beer like an 18-year-old. This is gross.
Let me get a White Claw.
Yeah, let me get a White Claw. But I went back to another skate park like a couple of days ago, and I did fucking bust my ass. I did fall because I was trying a trick that I used to do when I was good at skateboarding, like 10 years ago when I used to skateboard, and I tried. I remember I used to do this trick, so I tried it again. And it's when you go up on like on a quarter pipe, and there's like the railing, you know, and you like and you go like this, and then you power slide, and then like put your trucks onto the railing, onto the coping.
Yeah.
And then I did that, and I got onto the coping, and then I just go.
Gravity.
I just fall right on my fucking face. My face hit the concrete, and I just like got up and started laughing. And then like my friend that was with me, he was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm just like, I'm like, for whatever reason, I just started like laughing really hard. Like falling made me laugh. I don't know. I think it was like my body's self-defense of like, this hurt and I'm embarrassed, so I just laughed. You know?
Right.
But, other than that, it was a pretty good day. I'm starting to get it back a little bit. So
today you ate shit like that?
No, a couple of days ago, but I said I'm starting to get it back. So
I was gonna say your face looks great.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah,
it's a little lopsided, but whatever.
I was born like that. I'm kind of like a melted candle.
Were you at Burnside or something?
No. I probably won't go to Burnside, but
Burnside is kind of like a specific terrain and rhythm, isn't it? As far as the park goes,
it's all like a lot of the local skaters. They made the park, you know,
right,
by themselves. So a lot of it is kind of rough.
Yes,
like it's like
I've heard it's gnarly,
gravel, but it's also the people that skate there are very territorial.
Right.
So I don't know any of them, so I would probably get harassed and things thrown at me, maybe even into a fight. You know, it's not like it's a dangerous place to go. It can be.
So you just told me where we're going as soon as we hang out next time.
Right? Yeah.
Burnside. Let me write that down.
Yeah, you jot that down. Let's go.
I'm serious. We're gonna film it. We're gonna go. We're gonna make this a part of the episode. Do you mind chilling out? We're zooming over here.
Yeah, that's not going to get a bunch of fucking cracked out skateboarders mad at all.
They have a spot here, and I always forget about it, though I drive over it every time I go into the city. It's called Philly Side. At least that's what it used to be called. And it's exactly what you said about Burnside. Wherever they got the money from, they piece by piece built that park out. And
Right.
I went there years ago. I've never been good at skating, but I was dumb enough to try years ago. And I went there and I had cousins with me who didn't know anything about me or skateboarding. So they thought I actually had talent.
Yeah.
I didn't. I went up like some 10-foot concrete wall that had a lip on it and came straight down and just stayed there for a few minutes until some guy told me, he was like, "Hey, we got enough obstacles. Can you get the fuck off the concrete?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem, no problem."
Right.
And then the park wasn't finished yet. So I hit one side and I pumped and went to the other, and there wasn't anything there, just dirt and broken bottles and a couple of people sleeping. So he's like, "Yeah, you don't want to hit that spot. We ain't built it yet." I'm like, "Yeah, I got that. Thanks." And then I just continued to cry and kind of went back to my cousin's neon and bled a little bit, and I was over
I like how you fake them out though. Like, hey, yeah, Tony knows how to skate. I mean,
it. No.
no, he doesn't at all.
I've realized as you go through life, eventually people, when you get to a certain age, are like, "Hey, what's this guy good at?" And then you're like, "Nothing. Fuck."
I was sad. Nothing. Not good at fucking anything. Well, he's got this show that they post on YouTube with his fat friend.
He's right. You're not good at anything.
Yeah, you're right. He's not good at anything.
What do we call it? Trash.
Trash. It's trash. A bunch of hot trash.
Hot fucking garbage.
So
should I buy this phone? No, it's hot garbage. I've literally said that 4 times today. It's hot garbage. Get this one.
yeah, get this one. It's less of garbage. Still garbage.
That's right.
But,
You'll be in here less if you buy this phone.
so when I was at the skate park the other day, me and my friend were skating, and we were hanging out at this bowl, and we were just skating the bowl, and we called it like the fat and old retired skaters bowl, because it was just him and I, and then some other bald guy that was like skating. So we were just like, yeah, this. I think I said that. I was like, this is where all the retired, not good at skateboarding people go.
Right.
Here. And then there's this fucking probably like 24, 25-year-old like guy with long hair, tie-dye shirt on, you know, he's got his fucking earphones in, and he's just fucking ripping, man. He's tearing the fucking place apart, like doing things that you're like, okay, he's really good, maybe sponsored, and if not, should be a professional skater. He's super fucking talented. Just doing things like doing tricks that are on accident, landing huge like airs, like doing all sorts of fucking shit. And for some reason, there was this kid there, like probably like 11, 12-year-old kid, and he fell asleep on one of the boxes, on one of the boxes that you grind on, you know. Oh. And it's a long box, and it goes like this, and then it goes down a little ramp, so you could grind it and go down. And he just laid on it and like was sleeping. I don't know what this kid was, if he was drunk or what. But I saw him sit down. He just taking a rest. There's not a lot of people at the skate park. It's no big deal. And then he just lays down. And his eyes are closed. And then this kid with the long hair, the 20, mid-20s kid, just fucking just hauling ass. And he hits a ramp and ollies over the kid, sleeping. And I just kind of like looked at the right time, and he just like ollies over him. And he probably ollied like 4 to 5 feet and, a couple feet high, and just clears the kid. And the kid just pops up and just goes, did he ollie over me? And the whole park just starts laughing. And he's like, because the kid had no idea, but the guy was like, this kid's asleep, I'm just gonna ollie over him.
And he did that. He didn't have a guy following him with a camera or anything?
Oh, no.
So he did that for fun. He didn't do it for a sponsor me video or anything like that. He just did that.
Yeah, no, he just saw this little shit sleeping
and nailed it.
And was like, I'm gonna ollie over him, and if he wakes up, the board's just gonna hit him in the head, and that's his fault, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, you're at the park, that's on you. But
it was just fucking hilarious, because it was kind of like almost adorable in a way. Can you ollie over me? And everyone's like, yeah, and the guy's looking back at him, just like, like,
stay still. I'm gonna do it again.
It was pretty fucking funny though. Yeah, but that that guy was fucking. That guy was good, impressive. But yeah, man, skating's fun.
Speaking
I'm
of
gonna keep on
skating,
doing.
I have a quick story that happened to you and
Yeah,
I.
yeah.
Do you remember when we first moved to Portland and our friend hooked me up, gave me a longboard with trucks and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and we put the board together, and you right when we moved to Portland, and we went to skate together, and I started hitting the deck, riding it around, and I fell off every time, and I'm just like, something's wrong. Like, no, dude, you're just really bad at skating. I'm like, it shouldn't be this wobbly. And we lived on a hill heading down towards Burnside in Portland. And I mean, I tried to hang with this guy. I mean, you know, I can't skate. I've been the guy in the skate group that can't skate. Has the beautiful, awesome deck, no scratches on it because he can't skate. That's me. Best gear, can't skate. So this guy hooks me up with a deck. Alex and I go for a ride. He's got his board. He's fine. As soon as I get on it, the board's shaking like I'm trying to ride a wave in a tsunami. I'm telling him, that, hey, Alex, this ain't right. Like, I know boards enough to know this shit ain't right. So we're sitting there, and the trucks are faced the right way. And so he's just like, just fucking, you're just rusty. Just figure it out. So we point downhill and head towards the pizza joint on Burnside. And I remember that specifically because I was looking at the pizza joint on Burnside when I realized there's a car coming down the street the same direction I'm going. And if I don't get off this shitty board, I'm dead. And Alex is already safe on the side, and I'm almost getting killed. The board flies under the car, and the guy looks at me like this, and I'm like, I can't do this shit. The board's broken. And he's laughing hysterically. And we later find out that even though the trucks looked like they were on the right way, they were backwards. Which, if you don't know shit about skateboarding, it's very bad. That you can't skate that way. You can't skate with backwards trucks. That's not how it works. So that was fun. He laughed his fucking ass off at that one, and I'm still scared.
Did I do that on purpose? I think I might have. I think I might have tried to been fucking with you.
I don't know, because you never helped me. I had to call Steve. And Steve, the guy who hooked us up, they hooked me up, and he's like, dude, they're on backwards. And then Alex is like, I kind of figured that. And I'm like, the fuck?
Okay, because I played a joke on two different people before. Like they got in their new deck and I put their trucks on backwards. Just
you fucking asshole.
So I didn't know if I did that to you. I could have, but it sounds like I didn't. But
well, the thing
I've done that a couple of times to people.
You might have a couple of lawsuits coming your way.
Well, I mean, they fall off, and I have to skate tool, and we just put it back on. It's fine.
Fooled you.
Yeah.
If you don't know how your trucks go on, you deserve to look like a jackass and hit a frickin' Honda Fiat or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
The funny thing is Alex doesn't know if he did that shit to me on purpose or not, because he's done it enough times to forget.
Yeah, I have. I've done it a few times.
So I'm starting to think that you did do this shit to me on purpose. You're like, yeah, that's right.
Oh, I definitely have. Probably been too stoned to tell you that I was just kidding. You know. So you're still working, man. How's the job going?
You know, honestly, I've done. I think we've done a few shows where I said that job was intense, but now I've got my rhythm with the store and the people, so you kind of know how to handle people. But I did run into someone this weekend that absolutely blew my mind. Wasn't a customer at all. It was the security guard. We have security now because people can't behave. So we have security, and we're all wearing masks, of course. So it's a lot of ear leaning. And right. We were talking about COVID or some trash. And he's an older gentleman, definitely seems well-read, all that. And we're talking, and he starts saying things to me. He's like, he's saying things, and he makes me like, he's convincing me that he knows what the hell he's talking about. So up front, he's like, I was in pharmaceutical medicine for 40 years. My daughter does this, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, I know the cure for COVID. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, so never mind. Anyway, keep talking. So he's talking, and then he's like, well, you know that that Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres are on house arrest. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, you know. And I was like, and I was just screwing with him. And I was like, because of the Epstein thing? And he's like, you know. And I'm like, I do? He's like, you do. And I'm like, I do? And like, yeah. And I'm like, what do I know? And he's like, you know. I'm like, stop. What do I know? And he's like, you know what they did? And I'm like, come on. I'm like, what do I know? And so then a customer comes in and I can't talk to him for hours. And then I go back up to him later. And I was like, so the cure for COVID. And he's like, he always does the look around, you know, when he really thinks he's got some hot shit. He's just like, I shouldn't tell you, but I'm going to. I was like, okay, I'm ready. And he's like, vitamin D and lemongrass. I was like, what? I was like, I do vitamin D and grass all the time. He's like, no, lemongrass. And I was like, are you a conspiracy theorist? Just like that, right in the middle of a full store of people. I was like, are you a conspiracy theorist? I was like, you're telling me that lemongrass and vitamin D will cure COVID, but we're not going to tell everybody that because that's crazy. And then Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres are apparently on lockdown because I really don't know. But I know, but I don't know.
But you don't know.
I don't know. But I know. I do know. But I don't fucking know. And the whole point of this story is I'm glad that guy came to work because my job is so freaking boring. I was just like, yes, this is a gold mine of bullshit. Have you ever met a conspiracy theorist, Alex?
Oh, yeah, man. All of them.
I only meet them when I work with them. And when we work together, not the security guard, but I've worked with other people and we would eat lunch together in the back room and everyone busts their phones out, their headphones, watches their shows. And the one guy, when I first moved here, he was like, hey man, you know, the whole world is run by aliens. And I'm like, yeah, I knew that. He's like, oh, wow. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I was like, everybody knows that, dude. I'm like, absolutely. And so everyone in the store is like, hey, I hear you and Gary are friends. I'm like, who's Gary? Like, the guy who believes in aliens. I'm like, well, yeah, aliens are real. Like, no, not the way Gary thinks they are.
Gary is an alien. He's one of them. He's not.
I move so many times. I always make friends with the person who doesn't have any friends. And That's always my first mistake. And this time it was Gary. First it was aliens. And then rats live under the White House and they run the establishment. It was just all this crazy shit. All I could say is if it wasn't for people like that, I wouldn't be drinking. I don't know. I love people like that. If you're a conspiracy theorist, reach out to us because I like to hear this shit. I think it's great.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'm not against it. That's it. I love to hear the stories. I don't know. It's great. It's funny. If you think lemongrass and anal or whatever gets rid of COVID, try it. I don't know. But, you know.
I mean, there is, do you know the name Brendan Schaub? He's a comedian, ex-MMA fighter. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
He's a comedian now. He's friends with Joe Rogan. He used to be a fighter turned comedian, and his name's Brendan Schaub, and he got COVID, and I guess he kicked it in like 4 or 5 days because what he did is he got an IV. He got like he got a drip, an IV drip, and he got a vitamin E drip, and vitamin E is really good for your immune system and your lungs.
Right.
And I guess he kicked it in like under a week.
Yeah, but it wasn't wheatgrass and vitamin D.
No, but vitamin D is good for your immune system and shit like that. Good for your lungs. So
right.
I think
good for you surviving Portland in general.
Yeah.
Because if you're depressed, bring vitamin D or you're up Schitt's Creek. Absolutely.
Dude, I take a fistful of fucking vitamins every day. Don't tell anyone. I don't want anyone to know that.
Fistful of vitamins.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
Sounds like a health conscious punk band.
It is.
We're fistful of vitamins. Ah!
Yeah, we headline fucking news seasons every day.
We worked around the local vitamin shops, but we got our shit together. We're moving up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So last episode, you told me that your girlfriend's mom had moved in with you.
Yeah.
You haven't had that going on for a long time. Like now you have another three ladies in the house. How's that going?
I got 3 girlfriends now. It's pretty tight.
As long as the sex is good, man.
No, it's fucking sex. It's no sex.
What's that?
Yeah, I know exactly. No, it's good. She's fucking awesome. She's actually kind of just like a friend. Her mom, like my girlfriend's mom. She's pretty rad. We hang out all the time, drink in the front yard. She's rad. But I think it was my girlfriend Callie, her sister, my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend, and her mom and me, and we were all in a car. And there was some joke made about how I was born a woman or something like that. It was like a harmless little joke, right? And everyone kind of like giggled. And then my girlfriend just goes, that makes sense why your penis is so funny. In the whole car. She just said that and everyone laughed really hard, like, and I was laughing. It was fun. And then I kind of looked over at her mom, and her mom was laughing like too hard. You know what I mean?
She knew.
Yeah, she was laughing like they talked about it before.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh yeah. Fuck!
And I looked at her. I was like, "What the hell did you tell her?"
No shit. Oh my god! Women talk about penises to their mother?
I mean, I don't know. I could just be reading into it to maybe want to get a funny joke, but like.
You didn't call your lady out after that shit?
No, I don't. We laughed about it. I don't care. It's like, and it wasn't like, well, I did. It was like, were you trying to say that I have like a tiny dick or something? She's like, no, I just meant funny, like, haha, like a clown. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just did the, the Joe Pesci thing, I'm funny to you?
Like
you tell me how I'm funny. Do I make you laugh? Huh? Am I a clown to you? Do I amuse you?
No, you said it. I'm asking.
I'm asking.
I almost had her, you stuttering prick, you. Sorry, I had to finish it off. Yeah. You may fall into questioning, Henry. You're poor. Wait a minute. Whoa. How is your dick funny?
I don't know, man. It's got a little red nose on it. It's got a flower. You can throw pies in its face.
Nice.
It's great for kids' parties.
Wait. Can we get you a couple of googly eyes to just put right over your dick, just one time to surprise her?
Oh well, yeah, but I got to take the other ones off first.
Oh, that's good. You got the little Groucho glasses on your dick with the nose and the eyebrow. Wait, seriously though. Wait, I mean, what's funny about a dick?
Well, I mean, all dicks are funny. They're fucking weird looking.
I don't know. I've never been told my dick's funny. Yeah. Most people just say, "Where is it?" But not it's funny.
Dude, dicks are fucking hilarious. Just like next time you get a chance, just grab yours and then look at it. It's just fucking like, all right, this is the only way I could think to describe it, but this is one of my old jokes, so I'm gonna be that fucking guy. Like, dicks are funny. Think about it. Like, no matter if they're hard or soft, they're kind of hard and soft, like at the same time. It's like a soggy roll of nickels. They are. Even when a dick is fucking hard, it's still kind of, I don't know, man.
I like to think mine is a roll of quarters, Alex. Just saying. Maybe silver dollars. I mean, yeah, it's a roll of dimes, but I like to lie to people.
Big spender, okay. Roll of quarters.
How's my stomach taste, she says. Oh, that's funny.
You could go fucking ride the bus with your dick.
Exact change. Hang on a second. That's 1 3/4 inches.
You make a fucking collect call with your dick.
My dick won't fit in the slot. This call's gonna end. Shit.
Right. It's a short call.
So now we know that your girlfriend's mom knows about your funny penis, and you live with her.
I do. Hey man,
that's just.
I don't know. It's just it. It's just, you know, we're just all close like that. You know, it's family.
I don't want to see your dick, but I gotta know what a funny dick looks like. So we'll hang out sometime.
Yeah. I don't know if she meant like. I think she might have just been making a joke. I don't know. I don't know how it looks funny. Like there's no. It's just a dick. I don't know.
You're really gonna have to get a follow-up for us here, man.
Hey, why is my dick funny? I don't know, man. It's fucking. It's just an extra medium dick, you know.
Oh my god. Holy shit. That was funny. I don't even know why it's funny. I want to know why it's funny. When I meet your lady, when I meet your lady, I'm asking about your dick. But I mean, when I meet her again, I've met her. Did you have to give your lady the warning speech about me at all?
No.
You know that exists, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't know that, and I always, when I meet people's girlfriends, I always ask, "Did you get the warning speech?" Because half the time I get a laugh out of it because they know exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
I've never done that to anyone or to anyone about you, I don't think. But I understand. I can understand why someone would want to do that, though.
Tell me. All right, now explain to our 7 viewers why that would be the case. Give them a clue.
Well, just because you're just a loud idiot, you know, you're just. No, man, you're just.
Brother, you ain't lying.
Nailed it.
Holy shit, you ought to be a carpenter. Just slam that fucking nail home shut. That was great.
Just a loud idiot.
Woo! That's it, folks. I'm just a loud idiot. And I admit it, that's totally fine. But Alex is, that's a friend right there. I tell you, just a bag of dimes or dicks or whatever you got.
Right.
Holy shit.
Sorry, I gotta readjust this. No, I've never really warned anybody. I was just like, yeah, it's Tony G. He's my friend. We used to do comedy together. He does comedy. He's got he's from the East Coast, whatever, you know. I don't like to warn people about people. I just like to go, let it rip. Just fucking.
Right.
They'll get it. It's not like me saying anything to anyone about anybody is gonna fucking, you know.
I don't know about that though, because I've been in situations with other friends where the girl said to my friend, "You should have warned me." It's not like I brought explosives and a horn or anything. I'm not crazy. I just have opinions and I voice them loudly when I shouldn't. That's all. There's no reason to warn anybody.
You're just a loud idiot. That's all.
That's it. I nailed it. Alex nailed it. I tell that to people, but I didn't notice people were picking up on it. I didn't know it was shining through. At 40 years old, I finally found who I am in this world. A loud idiot. Nailed it. I love it.
It's about time, you know?
Well, speaking of being a loud idiot, this has nothing to do with the next topic, but do you remember the time we lived together in Portland and did drugs together? One of the times? The time, I think it was the time that something happened to your face and we found out what Cockcages were.
Okay, yeah. There we go. We ate pot brownies / and or THC pills.
Right.
And this fucking guy always has THC pills, and he always gives them to me, and I get all kinds of fucked up. Like I fucking, All right. So what I remember is we did some sort of pot, and the pot has entered our body somehow in some form. We did the THC pill. We ate some pot cookies. I don't know. Probably smoked some weed, had a beer. And you and I just lived in this apartment downtown, the 1-bedroom apartment. We had twin beds on either side of the wall, and we slept in the room together. And by the way, I don't know why didn't one of us just take the fucking living room?
I have no fucking idea why someone didn't just sleep in the living room.
No,
you
we're
know
gonna
why?
sleep in the living room.
Well, I worked graves.
Yeah.
So remember I worked at the Voodoo Donut Hole and I worked graves. So that was probably why. Or maybe we just wanted to look at each other in the morning. I don't know.
Because I definitely looked at you. That's the only way I can get
What?
look at you.
You maybe
You still drinking that thing?
There's a little left.
Well, by all means, drink it all, Tony.
There's more on me than in me.
I could see you're like you got some. It looks wet right here. Anyway, so that particular night we ingested some weed through our mouths somehow. And if you don't know, smoking it and eating it are two very different things.
Very different.
It's basically like doing a different drug. It's a different fucking ordeal altogether. And I found this out by many times trial and error, many times that I don't do well when I eat pot. And Tony's been around me a few different times when I've eaten pot, and it doesn't take well with me. It's just not my thing. And so we ate it, and then we decided to go just walk. We had no plan. There was no destination. There was no plan at all, no agenda. And we just started walking around Portland, Oregon, probably around 10, 11 o'clock at night. I don't know if that is right or not. What do you say? Something like that.
No idea. It's dark a lot in Portland, so I mean, it's hard to say.
It was night. It was dark. All the freaks were out, 10, 11 at night. And we were walking around, and as we're walking, I'm getting fucking higher and higher. And I remember we walked into a porn shop, and it was not like it down in like a real dirty porn shop. It was like more of like a lingerie place, like a jokey kind of place, And then in the back, they had some of the kinkier shit. So you could take it away from there if you remember.
I remember doing. I don't know what we did in the living room, but I remember ending up downtown on Burnside. I remember getting to. I'm looking at the pictures in my head. I remember going to Burnside. I don't know. I think we ended up in a few places, but I know we ended up in a sex shop like 10 blocks from our house.
Yeah.
And I remember something about heavy beaded curtains because I was really into them. I was playing with them a lot, which would not be COVID friendly now, but I was definitely into the beads. And at some point, I remember we were insanely high. Like if you've seen Fear and Loathing, when they're getting off the carousel, like they're just gone. And at some point, we were just looking around. I don't even know why we were in a porn store. But then we've discovered Cockcages.
Yeah.
And that was, we've never seen that. I've never, even then, and when we said it, because I'm a loud idiot, I remember being like, what is this? And someone's like, it's a cage for your dick. I'm like, for your dick? And because I'm a loud idiot. And that's how, I just remember you just kind of like laughing. But like when you laugh, you kind of like just, your chin connects to your chest and you're just like this. So I didn't know if you were laughing or ODing because I thought you could die from pot, so I was worried about him. And so we left. I feel like we went other places, but I do remember at some point us getting back. You told me you couldn't feel your face anymore. You kept
I couldn't feel half of my face. The other half, I could feel this part, but this part, it was like in my eye, like I could only make expressions with this side, and this side was just like. It would smile with this side, and this side was just like, so yeah, I'm happy, and then just it was so high, like half of my body just like shut off, just like done.
The best, it really did. And I remember being like, at some point you were just like, hey, I don't, like you were concerned, but I was kind of being an asshole. I'm like, come on, man, don't bum me out. It's going to be fine. Like, just work with half your face. Let's keep doing this. I just remember you being in the elevator kind of like kind of put it back up. You're like, I can't feel it. I'm like, you're feeling it.
No, I can't feel it though.
I think that was the night that you went to bed after, like, you passed the fuck out. When we got you back home, you passed the fuck out. And then I went out. That's when I met Mitzi. You remember Mitzi?
Oh yeah, Mitzi. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mitzi, we lived in a hall, like we had a hallway, and across the hallway we had a neighbor, and he was a really weird neighbor. And I don't know how I ended up in the hallway, but I know you were home. I know you were home, and it was late.
I was in bed. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm one of those people that stays up late, smokes more weed, and thinks he should go outside until he gets in the hallway and meets the neighbor. So what happened was Alex is assed out, and I'm like, I'm gonna go outside. And I opened the door, and right as I opened the door, Mitzi is the neighbor's dog. Now just think Buffalo Bill from
yeah, but Silence of the
but just
Lambs.
think, if you know Buffalo from whatever movie that is, you know what I'm talking about. Think Buffalo
Silence
Bill. Yes,
of
Silence of the Lambs. Think Buffalo Bill. And we met this gentleman before. We met Mitzi before. So we knew our neighbor, just not that well. So at 2 in the morning, I open the door. I just look out the door, and the other door opens, and Mitzi comes out. And I see a leg, and this is a guy that lives across the street. Not a problem, but you know, lives across the way. I see Mitzi go for the egg, you know, to leave the house, coming out the front door. And then I see a hand reach for Mitzi with painted nail polish on, which I was, and then a lot of rings. I remember a lot of rings. And I was just like, and this all happened within 15 seconds, but in slow-mo because we're still on the shit that you're passed out on at this point. So, and then I see a leg. I see a leg, but in a high heel with a stocking on and a gown. I see the whole setup. I see the hand, the leg, the gown, the foot, all come down and say, "Stop, Mitzi." And I'm just like, and then the door opens and he sticks his head out to look at me. And I'm just like, "No!" And I slammed the door.
Like our door, the door of our apartment. Yeah.
Our apartment door. He's out the apartment in the hallway. I see all this. I'm a high. And I just like, "No!" And I slammed the door. And I literally remember sitting in my chair in the living room like this, just like holy shit, like freaked out, man. The next day I acted like it never happened, but I think you asked me at one point, you're like, "Did something happen last night?" And I told you the story, and it was pretty funny because I was still our neighbor for a while.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if that guy's alive still. He was really old.
I mean, I'm worried about Mitzi. I hope she's good.
Oh yeah. Who isn't worried about Mitzi?
But the way he said Mitzi, that was
Mitzi.
The funny part. Mitzi. It was almost like he was from the South, but he moved because he didn't understand his ways, you know, with the leggings and the nails and the jewelry. And so he moved up to Portland and found his way. But the way he said Mitzi wasn't Portland-esque. It wasn't New York City. It was a Southern twang, which really dug into me. It was like, "Mitzi." Like, whoa, you know what a Waffle House is. That's crazy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that was our neighbor. That was a whole lot of fun. I think that'll happen on the same night. I'm just gonna say it did because it was great. Because you were there. You weren't part of it. That was my experience at 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. We've had some fun shit together. We'll tell more stories later, but
absolutely. But yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember the Mitzi part, but I do remember being high as fuck, and I remember walking and half of my face going numb, and I remember someone dropped a bunch of water balloons at us. Do you remember that?
Yes, we went to get pizza a block over, from 2 blocks over, we could get pizza. And anyway, I remember the pizza joint, and in any case, we're walking, and a balloon, something pops, and we kind of get wet. but we're so high, we're just like looking up, like right where the balloon would come from. Like, I think someone's trying to hit us with a balloon. And then another one comes down and misses because they're not a marksman. And it's like, oh, well, whatever. And I think we got slightly wet, but I do believe we had pizza as well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun night. That was one of many nights bled together, probably.
That was one of many fucking high as shit fun nights, man. But yeah. I think we hit our mark. Is there anything else you want to talk about, man?
Nah, man. I had a lot of fun thanks to this nasty Delaware water. No, I'm just kidding. That was a good show. What music am I listening to this week?
All right, yeah, it's my turn. For the record, the name of the record is California. The band is called Mr. Bungle.
Oh shit! All right, I'm with you.
Yeah. That is their third and final album that I believe. The members and Mike Patton have done a bunch of other shit, but that is their last recorded album that I know of. I think 1999 is when they recorded it. I do believe, if I'm wrong, someone out there correct me. But yeah, Mr. Bungle album. The record is California. So that is what we'll be listening to, and we will review it next episode. So thank you for watching the show. We both appreciate it. And yeah, check out the next episode. Listen to Mr. Bungle.
That's right.
And like and hit the bell on YouTube. Thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like it. That's all right. No worries. You can watch another episode or not watch it at all. So like, subscribe, do all that shit. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, support us in every way, he said. That was a lot of fun, you guys. We're going to do another one next week. This has been another episode of This Is the Future.
Unfortunately.
All right. We'll catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.